And what's up, everyone? Good afternoon. It is Monday night, and we are back with the NWO Niners World Order. I am with the guys. To my left is Bashar. To my right is Ryan. How you guys doing, guys?
Great.
Good.
Oh, I love that cup. Show it again, bro.
Shout out to Bryant Colt.
No BS. Ooh,
Got the
love
coffee
it.
cup, got the hat.
Oh, I didn't even see the hat. Right on. Well, everybody
I got
coming
a hoodie
in,
over
welcome.
Here too.
What was
it's a little
that?
too warm though.
Welcome.
And like I always like to remind people, please wipe your feet before entering and smash that like button for your boy. Real quick before we get started, make sure to follow. I believe you guys are already following, but in case you're not, make sure to follow Bashar at 49er Minded and make sure to follow Ryan at No Border Sports. We alternate this every week, and make sure to follow Aaron at 49ers First Takes as we alternate every week on everybody's channel so that you don't miss out on an episode with the NWO. Gentlemen, it's the off season. We're in a 40-day break with 30 days to go for training camp. So we're going to freestyle it tonight. We do have some topics we're going to talk about, and we're going to have Ryan start off with our new defensive coordinator has said recently to the media.
Okay, so I don't know. Obviously, I can't remember if it was yesterday or the day before. Steve Wilkes spoke in front of the media, and one thing I picked up was that not only did he want to increase the numbers of interceptions, but he wanted to find a way to get into the end zone with them. So in other words, he wants to get interceptions and score points with them, which means the league is in trouble if he's going to put this defense up to the task of scoring. You know what I mean? Like, no, we gotta figure out how to do this. So, and he also said Jair Brown, that when he's in the post, that he's got some nasty closing speed. And that makes me excited because I think he's going to give quarterbacks fits this year. And he might even be starting over to Sean Gibson. Some people said as soon as week 1. I don't know. We'll see more in training camp, but that would be amazing.
Hey, Will, you want to add anything to that, Ben? Corey,
yeah.
what's up?
What's up, Corey? How you
What up,
doing?
Corey?
Yeah, there's a lot going on that even the reporters haven't seen because there was 12 practices, I believe, that the Niners had recently, and only like about 4 of them the Niner writers and beat writers and media guys were able to attend. So, for example, like when Jair Brown got those 4 interceptions, the media wasn't even in attendance to see them. So, and who knows, and that's a really good point that you're making about the, Steve Wilkes. Every time I think of Steve Wilkes, for some reason, Jerry Springer show pops in my head. Steve Wilkos, his big security guard, and I think I got to get used to his name, but that's cool that he wants our defense to score points. That'd be really, really nice if we do. Pass rush helps a whole lot in that, so hopefully that means Bosa's getting a whole lot more help. On paper, it seems like he should be, but the opposite side of Bosa's a little bit iffy. So hopefully we step up in that. We got Drake Jackson and some horses, Austin Bryan, and I've heard some good things about so far early in camp, and even Clell Farrell had a pretty good day here and there. So it's gonna be interesting nonetheless.
Yeah. What's up? Jimmy Perez is coming in. We got Terror Dome in the house. What's up, Terror Dome? David McNiner popping in. And how you guys doing? I just wanted to add to what you said regarding Jair Brown having 4 interceptions, but it wasn't documented by the media. I wonder, I forgot who said it, so this is something that I came up with. I heard it, but a lot of the players don't try to take chances on certain things when the media is watching because they don't want to be criticized heavily by the media. They don't want to look stupid, if you will. So when the media is not there, they're able to take more chances to do more things that they wouldn't normally do when the media is there. So those interceptions popped for Brown, but when the media, because you know you don't hear nothing the day the medias are there, but then when they're not there, and I'm not saying that's correct. Whoever, I forgot who said it, but
If they're thinking like that, they're worried about the media.
but this
They
guy's
need
a
to be
rookie
worried
though.
about their. They need to. I don't give a shit. They need to be worried about their jobs. You know what I'm saying? They need to be impressing coaches.
Tell us
And
how you
that's-
feel, Ryan.
That's showing you could be consistent. You know what I'm saying? Like on the field. So don't worry about the media. Do your thing. Don't worry about it. Tune them out. You don't have to listen to them. You don't have to click on things. In fact, you shouldn't be on your phone. You should be on your iPad, and that's about it right now. Don't worry about all that shit.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. But you know what? Let's be honest. They shouldn't worry about it. Don't. Everything you said, I agree. But let's be honest. These guys are human. It's all about an image in football. You want to be the man, not the man that is left behind. So they do. It does lurk in the back of their minds. Oh shit! What are they typing? What is Grant Cohn going to say about my style of play today? And you're right. People lack a confidence. Now, players like Trent Williams or players that have complete, like McCaffrey, they don't give a rat's ass what the media says. They believe in themselves and have huge confidence boost on themselves and their ability. But these young rookies, I don't know. You're right. They should live with what you said, Ryan, but do they? Probably not. What's your thoughts on that, Bash?
I don't really have much to say about it. I mean, when you're out playing football, usually, I mean, in my opinion, at least when I was practicing, I wasn't really thinking too much about what was going on around me or
Okay.
what people were saying. I was just thinking about, okay, I have this task to do, I have this drill to do, and I have to try my best to complete the drill, or I'm going up against this dude, and whether I was playing offensive line, like I have to do my best to try to block this guy. Like I never thought of things like what's this guy that's going to say? What's that guy?
So the outside noise didn't bother you.
But then again, I wasn't under a microscope like a lot of these guys are either. They didn't have 20 different beat writers out there watching us in camp either. So I mean, one or two times, some local reporters came out to watch us. Local newspaper guys. But yeah, it's interesting. I guess it all changes when there's millions of dollars involved, and everybody's just all eyes are on you, I guess. But at the end of the day, when you're working on a drill and you're working on things, your body's moving and you're just intense. Like how I don't see how that thought would still cross your mind. Maybe in between drills you might glance over at somebody, but who knows? I mean,
Are you? You had to say, Ryan. Go ahead.
Lord Cat, you got to watch out. David McNiner, he's kind of like. You ever heard Hotel California? It's kind of like that in reverse. So
Wow.
Watch out. Say hi in the chat, but once you hear the smell of colitis, is that what it is? You get out. If you don't want to be part of the harem, I'm joking.
Talk about you didn't just put him under the bus. You pilled out on his forehead.
What are you talking about? He's fine. That might even help his game.
You're terrible, Ryan. Poor
guys be running game on them females.
You know what the young kids are calling that, right? They're calling it the Riz.
The Riz? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the girl. Do you have Riz? You got Riz?
You got Riz. Yeah. So
that's a terrible.
David McNiner knows what's up.
Yeah, Beto has the best equipment, the best camera, the best mic, the best of software, live streaming software. He's simply the best.
Except the content. The content is terrible.
I had a dream that I called into one of your shows, Beto.
It's hit and miss.
Hey, nobody's perfect. There's always flaws in everything in life.
Right. That's what makes things so great. People are always looking for the perfect things, but the imperfections,
it doesn't exist.
Imperfections are just as entertaining and just as fun if you can take pleasure in that.
Hell yeah!
I had a dream that I called into one of your shows. I had a dream that I called into one of your shows, but it's when you have a dream where you try to talk to somebody and you try to say things and whatever you're trying to say just doesn't come out right, and it's one of those weird dreams. But I definitely remember seeing you, and I definitely remember me trying to call in on your show. So it was just kind of funny.
Yeah.
The only dreams I ever remember is when I go to put my foot down and I actually do that while I'm sleeping and I wake myself up. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was that? It was like, oh, it was me. You know, like
Yeah.
something will be happening, like, in a car, and then you go to put the brake on, and then you're like, oh, what did I just move in the middle of sleep? Yeah.
I've done it once and I have never done it again, but that was a time where I was dreaming about something. What it was, I don't know, but I got up to use the restroom, did some things, and then came back to bed and went to sleep. And I went right back to where I left off in the dream,
Wow,
which was a
that's
trip.
rare. That's rare.
Yeah,
That's
very rare. Try to do it again? Nope. Never. So it's like, man, but that was weird, bro.
Some of them dreams you try to get back to, you're like, yeah, let's get back to that one.
Probably was one of those.
Rudely awakened.
Yeah.
You never know. Pterodome says Beto flossing with the camera angles! Exclamation point.
Oh yeah. Gotta, show the best side. The double wide. Shut up, Ryan.
Is that your best side?
Shut up, Ryan.
I thought your other side was.
I'm like the world. I just go around, bro. I just go around orbit.
Cameras.
I just go around orbit, bro.
Cameras so people can just turn their phone around to see all around you.
Yeah, there you go. David says, I had a dream. I was bowling and woke up trying to release the ball.
Oh.
People do that. Yeah. I did that one time. I was waving at somebody and I woke up waving. I don't know. I thought maybe I was a president or something. I don't know what the hell I was waving at. Or maybe the beautiful girl leaving me and I was like, bye. Bye, Samantha.
Beautiful girls.
But
Samantha Fox.
Let's as we freestyle this and we're going to kind of do a little bit of QA with the guys in the comments. I just want to relate on the defense, how good this defense is going to be. I've been talking on my show the other day about possibly this defense being a historical year. Is there a possible chance of this Niners defense, if Drake Jackson hits the way we hope he hits, and with the addition of Hargrave and the coordinator that's going to help out the secondary and Steve Wilks, how good this defense will be, and can it be a historical defense without winning the Super Bowl?
I got a hot take.
What's the hot take?
Go ahead, Ryan. Go first.
I think Cleveland Farrell's going to do better than Drake Jackson, and he's going to be our Yannick Ngakoue.
Whoa!
I think he's going to get anywhere between 8 and 10 sacks this year.
That's more than a hot take, bro. That is, wow. Okay.
Well, the way I see it, I don't think it's going to be all just him. I think there's a lot of stuff on that line people are going to have to deal with. You know what I mean? And I think he's going to be able to capitalize because he's been in a bad situation. He got drafted to a place that didn't really want to take the time with him. Now he's in a spot, somebody, Chris Kocurek probably really wanted him. You know what I mean? And they, probably been working together, and I'm sure he feels very confident. And he's got all the natural abilities. He's just got to figure out how to do what he needs to do to get to the quarterback, And the way Chris Kocurek does things is it makes it very easy and simple for people. So to me, it's going to put him in the best atmosphere, best situation to have the best production of his career. And I think he's going to do well with it. Like I said, 8 to 10. I have a feeling.
By default, this is the best defense that Clelin Ferrell will ever play for. This is the best coaching staff that he'll ever play for. Obviously, best defensive line coach. I was big on Clelin Ferrell coming out of college, and people were telling me I was dumb and the guy's overrated and I'm stupid and he sucks and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, dude, I watched a guy at Clemson tear things up. Like, he wasn't Bosa, but I mean, maybe in this 49er situation, he will do better. He did have one day, I think he sacked like Darnold twice when the media was there. I'm not sure how many sacks he had that practice, but it was good to hear. And I'm even hearing good things about Austin Bryant.
Remember, Coach Kocurek said that Drake Jackson could be a year 2, year 3 guy. And I'm not thinking he's going to be a start of year 2 guy, because if he's saying year 3, he already knows where he's at right now. You know what I mean? Coach Kocurek, he already knows where Drake Jackson's at. So if he thought there was any chance of being starting the season like a beast, like he thinks he should be, he would have said, hey, he might be a year 2 guy. He might not even bring up the year 3, because he thinks if it's not by week 1, it'll be by week 6 or week 8. You know what I mean? And I don't think that's there. So to me, I think, yeah,
Shout
Drake's
out to
not the guy right
Niner
now.
Gang Podcast. What's up, Dion?
Love Deion. I mean, Trent Williams was going as far as to say that he thought Drake Jackson looked like an All-Pro last year. I'm like, well, he barely even played last year, and I like Drake Jackson a lot too. But I mean, let's not jump the gun either. You know, talking about
flashed.
teammates like that. You know, he flashed here
but he
and
couldn't
there.
be on the field.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big Clemson fan. I love my Tigers. That's my college team. So I like him a lot. He was a great prospect coming out of college. Unfortunately, he went to the Raiders, and Raiders really misused Farrell. I think they used them a lot more like a linebacker covering tight ends. And he's more of pin your ears back and just go after the quarterback. So I'm excited to see what he can do under Chris Kosarek. But the kid that I'm watching for is if he can stay healthy, and that's seems like the word that we use a lot around here in San Francisco. But Austin Bryant, also from Clemson, is a fast pass rusher. They can get off the ball quickly. If he remains healthy, man, this rotation opposite of Nick Bosa can be very, very good.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know,
both
if
of
he's
them.
got
Watch it.
an
Both of them
issue
can't. Go ahead.
If he's got an issue with staying healthy, why not just sit the first half of the season? You know what I'm saying?
He
Get
probably
your
get
stuff right.
hurt in the second half.
That's fine. We'd probably need him to come in and take a spot for somebody who probably already got hurt anyways. All I'm saying is people who get injured, maybe we should just sit them the first half of the season and not do anything with them and just let them come in the last half where they've got a chance to maybe make it the rest of the season. You know what I mean? And contribute instead of us just steamrolling people with everybody. And then all of a sudden we're down to nobody at the end. You know what I mean? Like you never commit all your forces in a battle. You know what I mean? You always have a reserve for a counterattack or, fill in on your lines if you get attacked. So we don't think about things like that. It seems like we go out, we run one guy into the ground while everybody else is getting hurt too, a little bit here and there. And by the time the end of the season comes, everybody's dinged up and hurt.
I was gonna say, back to Austin Bryant and Clelin Ferrell. They were tons of fun to watch when they played opposite sides at Clemson. If we could bring back any of that magic, man, we're gonna have an amazing rotational pass rush with Drake Jackson and Hargrave in the mix. And have you guys seen? It's funny because Grant Cohn, the first time that Hargrave came to camp, Grant Cohn was doing his little mini camp report or whatever, and he's like, and the good, the bad, or whatever. Then he goes, Javon. It's actually Javon Hargrave. I keep saying Javon. Javon Hargrave has the thickest legs I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And everybody kept talking about that on Twitter, and they were posting pictures of him in shorts. It was just hilarious.
Quadzilla.
The minute he said that, I thought of David McNiner because his line is thicker than a Snicker.
Thicker than a Snicker.
I think David and I probably got the same. I don't know, maybe the same taste. We want some gription.
You want something to hold on to, huh?
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? I want to feel like
There's girls that hate it when you say, "Oh, I liked you better when you were thicker." What? Because they take it as being fat. So yeah, you kind of got to be careful with certain females when you throw that word around.
Do you think they would understand when you say "I liked it"? In other words, it's not a bad look on you. In fact, I like that look better.
Hard to figure them out sometimes. What can we say?
Bria.
Tell me where you get that body from.
But I'm still stuck on that take that you said about Clelin Ferrell being better than Drake Jackson. I like Ferrell coming out of college, like I said, but this kid Jackson, man, I've been watching his tape, his early plays with the Niners, and he was all over the place. He was always near the quarterback. He was just not penetrating, and he ran out of gas. Understandable. He comes from college. He went through all these auditions with all these teams to see where he was going to get drafted, blah, blah, blah. And now he has a full offseason. And one thing I like about what Steve Wilkes said about him, he told him, when are you going to be back? And he's like, soon. And he started hitting the gym and coming to Santa Clara and working out during the offseason, dedicating himself to growing. And he's gained a lot of muscle, but hasn't lost none of his speed. So we all know, though, unfortunately, just because you're big doesn't mean you're good. Solomon Thomas is humongous, and he can't do crap Javon
was
Kinlaw.
gigantic.
You know what I mean? These backup players like Javon Kinlaw, Orion, and Bash. How good can Kinlaw be as a backup? Not now that he's not the main guy, the guy that you have to depend on, but a rotational piece. They can come in and kind of help out Hargrave. And who's excited to see what Kalia Davis can do? Any of you guys? Go for it,
I want
Bash,
to
since you were
see.
pointing
I
at
wanted to
yourself.
see Kalia Davis last year when they were practicing Kalia Davis towards the end of the season last year, and they said, "Oh, they're gonna give him a 3-week practice window," and this is right before the playoffs. I was like, "Okay, cool, elevate him to the roster and get him out there," because I liked what I saw Kalia Davis's college film, and everybody's making those those comparisons to DJ Jones, right? And Kalia Davis is a former linebacker, and when you see him, you can sense the linebacker tendencies, and it's so cool. And I'd love to see that. Kinlaw, I mean, hey, whatever we can get from him, hey, I'll accept it, I'll take it. But I obviously, along with many other Niner fans, have set the bar really low for the guy, and he looks cut up and he looks ripped, but he's also lost weight. So it's like when you drop weight, like I don't know, the leverage factor isn't going to be there, in my opinion. But we'll see if he can give us something. Hey, the more the merrier. I'll take it. So it's going to be interesting.
Yep. You want to add anything to that, Ryan?
Real quick, I want to say, hey, Dion from Niner Gang Podcast.
Oh, Dion.
Make sure to check out Elaney Wilson. Just so you know, her music is very good.
Oh, first all that.
Oh yeah, and then man, if I could, Fatima Damey. Go check out. She's a triple jumper.
Did you say she's a triple D
from Spain? Just to let you know, Dion. Make sure you go.
This is a scouting report.
Fatima Damey. It's a scouting report. I'm telling you. Triple jump. Look, you should be knowing your Olympic your Olympic sports, bro. Just saying.
Future
Fatima Damey.
Olympians.
Laney Wilson.
the future.
What were we talking about?
The rotational pieces.
We're talking about D linemen.
You're talking about Kinlaw. Okay, coming in. Well, if he got exposed and thrown around
What's up, Frankie?
as a starter, who's to say that when he comes in, the offensive line isn't like going to be licking their chops? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that he's going to be bad every time. Hopefully, this is the year when he actually is as healthy as he says he is. I don't know.
What's up, Carcast?
So it's to me, I'm just not expecting much from him. From the start, from the gate, I'm not
and I don't
expecting
blame
much
you,
from
bro.
him.
I don't blame you. Based on what we've seen, the production he's provided,
mad at
staying
him.
Healthy.
Yeah.
So anything that we get from him is a plus at this point.
Right. The team made this decision, and I'm kind of like, man, the issues we've had, and you just keep throwing that caution into the wind, and you do it with the first round picks. Like, if you're going to do that, let the man fall, let people fall, and then take, risks on the, like people were taking a risk, like supposedly we were taking a risk on Noah Hufanga because he was injury prone, because he had a couple injuries on some bad, hits. Like, it's not necessarily like, oh, you're weak and your body's made of glass. Sometimes people get hit in the wrong way at the wrong time.
Man, when we
Fatima,
drafted Noah Hufanga, a friend of mine got on the phone. He's like, man, I don't know what Kyle Shanahan's doing. Did you know that guy Noah Hufanga that we drafted, that he's got some messed up shoulders? Can you imagine that? All we're doing is drafting all we're doing is drafting injured players. We're just drafting injured players. And I'm like, dude, just slow down, man. Let's see what we got in the guy.
Hold up real quick. Yes, thank you, Dion, for reminding me how to say the name correctly, but was I right? That's all I want to know. Was I right?
I'm surprised Dion knew who that was.
What are you talking about? He's a man of class. He's a man of culture. I'm just saying.
Forget about it, Dion. Forget about it.
Winnie.
No, the get the F out of here.
What's up, David?
That I was. You see that? Oh, what up, David?
David's in the house. So those are the front four. We're not going to talk too much about the linebackers. We already know what we have in our linebacking core. But the secondary, Lenore had a piece that he came on in the Matt Mayoko show, and he spoke on some few things. McNiner says, "Can Kinlaw make it through camp and the preseason? I would hate to let go of a good player and then see Kinlaw miss time." Yeah. That's a very good point there, David. You let go of
'Cause,
someone. Yeah.
we
That'll be
bring in a
terrible.
whole bunch of dogs, and to me, other than his cap hit, I'm not really wanting
up,
to
David?
keep him around on this team. Other than his cap hit, I really don't.
Thug
You
Life
know what I mean?
certified.
That's for David Corona. Thug Life certified.
Did you notice? Did you notice Bryant Culp said drop the link? Yeah.
It's up to you guys.
No, you could send Brian a link if you want. It's David Corona always comes into every show and thinks it's a call-in.
Oh,
Shout out to
David.
David
Oh,
Corona.
is that what he means?
I think he knows. I think he knows now.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. You want to see some art?
Yeah. Sure.
I made a special wallpaper. It's a special wallpaper.
That's not
Oh
art.
my god!
That's
Yeah, you
not-
put that on
that's
your
not
shows,
art, bro.
On your Friday night shows, you do that.
Yeah. So
Okay.
let me know if
thanks
anybody.
To you, I made my own countdown screen, Ryan. For my last show, I used
Oh,
it.
heck yeah!
Yeah, you gotta check it out.
Oh, you made your own countdown?
Yes, sir. I don't use the StreamYard one anymore, the boring one.
That's good, bro. That's good. I can see Bash counting backward, counting 10, 9, 8, 7, 6,
No, you gotta
5.
see it. It count. You gotta see how it works. It's not my voice when you watch it. You gotta check it out.
Oh, it's not your voice?
No.
All right. Definitely got to watch your show. When's the next show so we can watch it?
Good question. Well, definitely on Friday.
Go
But
to his last show since he already used it. You
Yeah.
can go to his
Oh,
last
I didn't know
show,
he
and
had
it'll
it.
probably
Okay.
be at the start of
I
it.
use it on Saturday. Yeah. I
Oh,
it
did
on
you?
Saturday.
Okay.
I had Tyler Miller on there. He 95.7 Game the Morning Show had him on as a special guest on Friday. He's a chatter and a caller, and they're doing this thing on 95.7 The Game the Morning Roast where with Butcher and Butcher Boy and Bonte Hill where they're bringing on every Friday they're bringing on one call, basically somebody in the studio that's a chatter or a caller, and they're going to feature them for 10 minutes or whatever in the studio. So Tyler was on there, so it was pretty cool to have him on.
Speaking
Dion
of the
says
chat,
he
shout out to
dates Latinas, so he knows, a little bit of what you were
I heard
talking
Dion
about.
speak a little Spanglish every now and then.
shout out to the chat. You guys have been fire tonight.
Yes, sir.
Make sure to debo that like button, please. Make sure to get the thumbs up so we can get this stream out.
Yes,
Pretty
sir.
please.
Appreciate that to get it out, and make sure to follow everybody on the crew. We don't go live on my channel. We rotate channels, so make sure to follow Ryan at No Border Sports. Follow my boy Bash at 49er Minded, and our boy Aaron. By the way, he wasn't feeling good today, feeling a little bit under the weather, so he was not able to make it. But make sure to follow Aaron on 49ers First Takes as well as we rotate each and every week. And you don't want to miss another boring show. I mean, a great show from us.
That also means you people watching on Facebook, you won't be able to see us next week.
Why?
Yeah.
So because we won't be,
Bash. I love Bash.
we
No,
won't be
well,
broadcasting on Facebook next week. We'll be
Okay.
on
Because it's not on my channel.
Aaron's channel.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, got it.
So make sure to come over here to YouTube and get in the description and click the links and be
I'll tell you
updated
this,
when we
though.
go live.
The hardest thing about content creation is, you can have whatever followers you have on your Twitter. I have almost 2,000 people follow me on Twitter. I have, a good 1,000 people follow me on Instagram, and a whole bunch of people follow me on Facebook and in my Facebook group. But just because they follow you on those platforms, it doesn't mean they subscribe to your YouTube channel.
Nope.
For whatever reason, they don't cross over. I don't know why. And it would be really, really nice. We really
Unless you're
appreciate it if you
Mexican.
guys did that. If you guys did that, if you're on whoever's Twitter, whoever's Instagram, whatever, on whatever platform, come over to the YouTube and hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and always drop a comment. And if you're a silent viewer, pop up in the chat and just say, hi, my name is so-and-so. I'm from blah, 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 wherever you're from, and say, what's up? We'll shout you out.
We Latinos, we know how to cross over. There you go.
Let's hear Latin lingo, Beto. Go.
What's
Give
up,
us some
platform?
English.
How
2,
come
4,
there's
6
not
is
more
in the
of you
house.
league then? Crossovers.
Huh?
The platform, Lawrence.
How come there isn't more Latinas in the league with the crossovers?
Oh, I don't know. Because they
You know,
keep sending back.
Well, we have that one guy.
We need a
who
sign that says, do not return to sender.
You guys read my mind because I was going to ask you guys, do you think Gutierrez is going to be just completely left off of the roster, or are we going to be able to hold on to him again because of that? Is there still an international player exemption? Or I don't know how that works.
That was, I think it was up last year.
So if he makes it this year, it's because he shows potential.
But I think we stacked the deck too. You know how many guards we have?
We have all guards and no tackles.
Dude.
It's like having a bunch of pinkies and no other toes on your foot, right?
It's so annoying. I hate the fact that we do that with our roster.
Like, to me, I would want to go heavy on tackles. The reason being is if you got a good tackle, if you got 3 good tackles, you can trade one away. You know what I mean? For good capital. Not only that, but you can also set another tackle out there and jumbo. You know what I mean? And really hit people in the face. So there's lots of things you could do with having excess tackles. Guards only can swap through the inner positions. And once you get to the outside, they're not very good.
Yeah, you'd
Hola,
always
we got
assume-
our girl Tanisha in the house. What's up, Tanisha?
What's up,
What up,
girl?
Tanisha?
Long time no see.
You'd always assume that a tackle should be able to play guard, and usually it's not the case, vice versa. You should assume that.
No. We need tackles.
Affordable jerseys. Hit me up for all your jersey needs. Okay, what? Let us know what jerseys you got there, Beto.
Anyone you want, any player you want, any NBA, baseball, hockey, college football, NFL, custom jerseys. I can customize it, any color, any name. I can't customize your weight, but I can accommodate your weight.
Can you shrink me down to a size extra large,
Bro,
please? I'd really
You would
appreciate
be
it.
hella
I would have been
rich.
my own model if that was the case.
You'd be a trillionaire if you could
Yep.
do that.
Yes.
I mean, look at me. I eat 5 burritos and I'm weighing 120 pounds.
Hey,
Thanks to Niner sickness, I can now wear what I wore back in junior high.
Yeah.
the real hustle would be to take it out of people's guts and put it into their lips. You know what I'm saying?
What?
What the
Yeah.
heck did you just say, Ryan?
You use a byproduct from one as a product for another. You know what I'm saying? Imagine what your overhead is going to be like. You're not going to have any.
They're going to call you fat lips.
Oh, what do you guys think about what's been going on in the kicker battle with Jake Moody and Zane Gonzalez? Is any of that strike any chords with you or anything you want to talk
Brandon
about?
Ayuk, Pterodome.
Yeah. I said Alex Smith earlier before the show started just to be funny, and they were ripping on me. But I was just saying, do you guys want to talk to kickers? I mean, in terms
There
of
it
what's
is.
been going on?
Anything? Do you hear anything about our new kicker? David Cantu's on the same page you are,
Yeah.
Bash.
And okay, there you go, Cantu. And I was thrilled about the pick, guys. Remember? Just kidding. I mean, whatever. It's out of my control now. We got accepted as Niner fans, and
Yeah, Bash
I
is
heard
like,
he's been
we
doing
want a
pretty good."
kicker. Forget about tackles. Get a kicker. I'm like, okay.
and,
That was
he's been
pretty
doing
cool.
pretty good, well in camping so far, right? It looks like he's the better kicker of the two.
Of the two.
Well, I mean, Zane Gonzalez. I don't know if he's ever back to his original form because of what he's coming off some injury or something like that. So, yeah. So, what do you all like that makes you subscribe?
All I know is if Zane Gonzalez goes missing, freaking Moody deported him.
Okay.
But back to
Here's a
kickers.
question. Here's a
Back to
question from
kickers.
Tanisha.
Before we get a question from Tanisha, back to kickers, and we'll definitely answer this question. Your thoughts on Moody? I know nobody really cared about, other than my boy Brian. He loves kickers, so besides him, nobody was really too high on giving up a third round pick for a kicker. They felt that there were so many kickers that could have been taken after the draft. They could have brought some people in. And then we seen that the Patriots moved up about, 16, 18 spots to take a kicker themselves. They took the second best kicker. But the fact that we needed a kicker because we didn't want to pay no $5 million for an old vet, even as good as Robbie Gould is. They needed a kicker. They went after young blood. Your thoughts on that?
I don't know if it was the paycheck. So earlier in the season, I don't know if you remember, but Robbie Gould was having trouble kicking the ball in the end zone, and a couple got returned one game, and he had to tackle the returner twice, or he got in the entanglement, you know what I mean, twice in both those returns in the same game, which he also, I believe, didn't come back to the game after that, and I think he was out the next game. And I think Kyle was like, because remember Robbie Gould said, we've got unfinished business. And then it was like, I will not be playing in San Francisco next year. I think that was him saying, yeah, I want to come back and I want to finish business. We're about ready to go to the Super Bowl. And I was the 49ers going, we're not going to offer you another contract. We want to let you know now so you can go out and find a spot. And he was like, whoa, okay. And I think it was just because his weakness is his leg, the reach of his leg. And that caused him to get injured and take himself out of the game, which made it so we had to, find someone else. You know what I'm saying? So I think it was like, let's get younger and bigger at the position as far as leg goes. And let's, try and keep accuracy and have more leg.
Real quick to David's McNiners comment here. Says, Brian was very happy the last time we drafted a kicker was 1994. Third round pick, Duck Bryan. Remember the outcome of that year. We won the championship. So could this be history?
Brian and I had talked about this before it happened. And I was telling him he was crazy. And by the end of the show, we both were like, yeah, this is totally plausible. Because we both realized, hey, it's not really the third round, it's the fourth round. Okay. You're talking about a day one starter. We're guessing. He's in a competition right now, but we're guessing he's going to be a day one starter. Because if he doesn't get cut, then he's the starter. They're not keeping multiple place kickers around. So, you know what I mean? To me, it makes sense. You know what I mean? Get a day one starter at the pick 99 of over the overall draft. Yeah. That's money right there. No matter how you look at it. And you're talking about a guy with a leg where everybody's been like, have you heard of a kicker with this much buzz since frickin' Punt God?
No, not at all.
That's a punter. But then, if you want to go kicker, who was the guy that the Raiders got? I think the first rounder.
Oh,
Janikowski.
Janikowski. Well, the Raiders had one. Not the Raiders. Tampa Bay had a Aguayo, right?
Yeah, he didn't work out. He was a fourth round pick.
Second rounder, I think.
Was it second round? Oh, that's right, second round.
That's what I'm saying. You don't hear them talking about kickers a lot, and this was the year for the kicker. You know what I mean? And you got the number one kicker out of the draft. So to me, that's a win. And when they did it, I was like, oh, what? Amazed that they actually did it. But I wasn't mad. I wasn't confused. You know what I mean? I was confused that they didn't go tackle it all. You know what I mean? Didn't address it at all, which confuses me even more. But that might have been a McKivitz, we believe in you. But you also brought in other guys, so I don't understand why you wouldn't just draft a tackle. Unless there was nobody on the board that you liked.
And I think that's what it was. And, the kicker was taken in the third round, but it was a comp pick given to us because of all the coaches that have been hired, minority coaches have been hired as head coaches. Really, it was at the bottom of the third. So it's kind of like a fourth round pick if you really want to be technical about it. So we really didn't take him in the third. We took him in the fourth. And the fact that the New England Patriots moved up so much to go and get the second best kicker, if we would have waited, like a lot of people said, man, he would have been there in the fifth or sixth round. That amazes me when people say that, because unless you know the future, and if you did, you probably wouldn't be watching football. You'd be playing or have all the money in the world. But we don't know the future. We don't know if they're going to be there in the fifth or sixth. We can hope for. The Niners just felt convicted. They liked the player. They knew he would be starting right off the bat. They knew they got a comp pick, and they had three. I think John Lynch said it, that if they would have had only one, they wouldn't have taken a kicker. But the fact that they had the luxury of having three of them, they were able to afford to take a kicker with one of them.
And supposedly the Patriots were trying to trade in front of them at 99 and couldn't.
Yeah.
Now
He would've
that's
been
not
gone. He would've been
confirmed,
gone the
but
next
they
round.
said it.
And they did move up quite a bit in the fourth. So the fact that they traded, wanting to trade, is there. That fact is factual, because they moved up as best they could in the fourth. They couldn't get any higher than the third. They wanted Moody, and they settled for the second best. So if you feel convicted on a player and you like the player, I like that they have the balls to do it. I like the fact that John Lynch and Kyle are not scared what the media or fans are going to say. They felt convicted. That's who they wanted, and they pulled the trigger.
Also,
And
you got to think too, like, who are you going to lose if you're going to, like, if you didn't have anybody in the fourth round, so you're going to have to move up from the fifth into the fourth round, right? Now, are you going to do next year's capital, or were they just going to use some of this year's capital? They're probably going to use some of this year's capital. And then you might not have a Braden Willis or a D Winters or Ronnie Bell. You know what I'm saying? You might not have one of those guys. You might not have two of those guys, depending on what we had to go for. You know what I mean? So to me, I'm like, I don't care. I just kind of more miffed why you didn't try with all the guards. Why? I'm just glad they didn't take a guard. You know what I mean? With all the guards,
Oh
why
my
didn't
gosh.
at least get one tackle?
Yeah, and I remember Terradome. I forgot what show he was on, but he was like, when the 49ers were drafting at that position, they had an opportunity to draft a menacing tackle with DeJuan Jones, and that was the guy I had in mind to get, but we didn't get him obviously. But then you were like, then Terradome was like, well, I felt better though, because we signed a menacing tackle as a UDFA, Joey Fisher. But now the guy's never going to be a tackle with us. Forrester already said that he's just strictly a guard. So here we go, another guard in the mix and no tackles. And it's like we're throwing all of our eggs in one basket with McKivitz. I really hope he pans out and never gets injured, because it's gonna suck if he goes down.
Yeah, that's the scary part. If he gets injured, listen, the fact that last year we were in this situation last year with Jake Brendel. None of us were like, why are we not drafting a center? Why didn't we draft a center? Why didn't we pick up a good quality center? What the hell are the Niners thinking? Blah blah blah. And Jake Brendel, he might not be the best center in football, but he was very, very decent. He was a second Pro Bowl alternate to the Pro Bowl pick. So I'm going to rely a little bit on trusting Chris Forrester making assessments on these guys. If he feels comfortable with McKivitz, until I see McKivitz pretty much shit the fan, I'm going to give him, I'm going to have hope that he can handle his own. But if he gets hurt, that has nothing to do whether he's going to be good or not. Who do you have to back him up? It better not be Jalen Moore. I don't even know if Jalen Moore should still be on this roster, in my opinion.
Terradome does have a great argument. He said if McKivitz was the guy, we had him in the building the whole time, and why didn't we use him? Question marks.
They were developing him.
Developers.
And they had Mike McClinchy. It's just like the year that we brought in that we drafted Aaron Banks. He was not going to push Tomlinson out of the way. He sat there. They tried him at the right guard. He didn't really work out. Injuries. They sat him, redshirted him for the most of the year. Once Tomlinson went off in free agency, they moved over Banks, and we saw what he did last year. So I think they were just developing McKivitz and getting him. I don't think they knew he was ready. I really feel if McKivitz wasn't ready or they were not confident in McKivitz, they would have drafted a tackle or they would have went out. I don't know if they would have kept McClinchy, period, no matter how desperate we need a tackle. Not for that amount that the Broncos paid him. We would have kept him, but I think they would have picked one up in free agency or drafted one or two. But the fact that they feel confident, hopefully it doesn't blow up in our face.
I sure hope so. Well, Trent
Hopefully.
Williams, he's been backing up McKivitz, and is McKivitz going to be the Aaron Banks of this season, to step it up? So who knows? Or the Brendel.
McClinchy got pushed around more than a broom at City Hall. That's pretty good. You had a comment, Ryan, you want to say?
No. I just said, let's hope.
Oh, that's
No,
all.
Beto, by the way, I was driving around over in my neck of the woods. Well, I live in Redwood City, but there's a city that's not too far away. It's called Citrus Heights. It's about 15 minutes away from where I'm at, actually. And I was just driving around. And looked up and I was like, oh, there's a restaurant called Beto's Tacos.
Beto's Tacos. You
Yes,
see, you live in
sir.
River City
No, I live in Roseville,
or Roseville? Oh, I thought you said River City.
but the place was over in Citrus Heights.
Oh,
So if you
Citrus
type
Heights.
Beto's Tacos Citrus Heights, you can see it. Yeah.
See, I'll be like a drug addict, try to get into his own stash and not making enough money. If I had a restaurant, I'll be eating my own profit. So,
Me too.
Yeah,
I'd probably.
it'll be hard. So let's move on. Oh no,
Oh,
I did not.
We didn't forget you, Tanisha.
But let me go back up to it. She said about Brock Purdy. If he's healthy, should he play? She feels nervous. Now, real quick, Tanisha, why are you nervous? Then you're nervous that he won't be ready in time, or are you nervous that we're going to go with Purdy if he's available? To your question, I don't know about you guys. You guys can answer your way, but I think Brock Purdy, if he's ready week one, but ready week one means he's ready to go 2 to 3 weeks before week one. He's already throwing the ball. He's working with the guys. That to me, he's ready. Can they insert him week one against the Steelers without having any type of training camp? I don't know. Honestly, listen, if Trey Lance is doing what he needs to do, if Trey Lance is wowing the coaches and he's getting the ball where he needs to go and he's impressing, he plays in the preseason and he's doing his thing, I guarantee you that Brock Purdy, whether he's ready or not, won't start. They will allow him more weeks to get better. But if Trey Lance is not moving the needle, if he's not impressing anybody, then the heat will go on Brock. Then they're going to be more pushy, and trying to bring Brock before they should. Sam Darnold, I'm not going to talk about. You guys can, but I think Trey needs to do his thing to keep Brock in bay and let him heal better. It's going to be up to Trey. Do you guys think no matter what? So this is the question I want to ask you guys. If Trey's killing it, but Brock is still ready for week one, do you think Kyle, still like an idiot, still goes with Brock? Or do you think he'll allow Brock to come back later and see what Trey has, whoever wants to go?
You know what? A lot of people were saying this. Sterling Bennett was saying this. He was just on with Ted Talks Ball earlier today. He's a 95.7 guy, and he was hinting that like, well, Purdy saved Kyle's job, and therefore Kyle's in love with Purdy, and no matter what transpires over minicamp and everything else, that he's going to throw Purdy in there regardless. So maybe that's what happens. I mean, it almost seems I almost feel like Lance if Lance freaking farts, all of Twitter just jumps on him. Oh, Trey Lance just farted, or Trey Lance accidentally threw an incomplete pass in practice. Oh, as if he threw like 1,000 incomplete passes in practice.
It's
almost
practice,
like
though.
It's almost like he has to be like 1,000% perfect there, or if not, pretty.
But that's the media, though.
I don't know.
That's the media throwing that narrative because it ain't the Niners coaches. So that's to my point earlier about these players. They get the shitty media going out there and talking negative when they make a simple mistake. But anyway, before we get, I know Ryan had a thought on that. What's your thought on it, Ryan?
Did Brock Purdy actually save Kyle Shanahan's job? The way I see it is that he's got plausible deniability. Trey got hurt. Jimmy got hurt. You know what I mean? Like he's lucky he had Brock Purdy there, but I don't think Jed's like, oh crap, look at you. You hurt all your quarterbacks. He's not going to look at it like that. He's going to be like, oh man, we had a horrible run of circumstances. You know what I mean? So I don't know if he really saved his job, but I do think that Kyle thinks that no matter what, Brock Purdy is his best option because it's he's seen it in action in game last. And with him, he's really trying to get to the Super Bowl. And he would rather get to the Super Bowl mediocrely than to take a risk at this point. So to him, it's a no-brainer. Unless Trey is just doing all this crazy stuff, I don't think he'll move off of it unless Brock gets hurt.
Yeah. It it's unfair for Trey, man. This kid, and I'm not even going to talk about me personally about what they gave up for him, whether they gave up 3 ones or no ones. The fact that he came in here and they sat him behind Jimmy for year 1, that was a mistake numero uno. They should have let him play. And even though they gave him the reins year 2, unfortunately for Trey, no fault of his own, he got hurt. Whether it's Kyle's fault or not, the fact is that he got hurt and he missed the rest of the season. I think personally, correct me if I'm wrong, that was the year that he had opportunities to screw up and still remain the starter. I think the year 2 would have been the year that he could have made mistakes, lost games, and they would have continued to stay with him through the whole year because they knew Jimmy was not going to be back, and they really didn't know what they had in Brock. They hoped they have something in Brock, but they didn't know what they're going to have in Brock. So I think when the year that he got hurt, that was the year for Trey to really impress and to have any type of slack. The fact that he got hurt, Brock comes in and does what he did. Kyle fell in love with it. Now it's like, I don't think Trey will get the proper opportunity. Like Ryan said, even if Trey is doing well in training camp and well in preseason, if the doctors okay Brock and they clear him week 1, I think that Brock will be starting against the Steelers week 1 and not Trey. They'll hold Trey as a backup. I don't think they'll trade him. The whole idea of trading Trey is just absurd. The fact that he is not costing us hardly nothing. There's other backup quarterbacks that cost way more than Trey. Why in the world would you trade Trey? Even if he's quarterback number 2, I think they keep him backing up Brock. But it's so unfair for Trey, man. I feel for the kid. I like what I saw in Brock. I'm fired up for Brock. I want to see what Brock can do. That one person told me one time is like, man, either you're Trey or you're Brock. One day you're talking about Trey. One day, I'm like, listen, I carry the logo, the Niners logo, not the player in the back of the jersey, but the front of the jersey. I like Trey. I was rooting for Trey, but I can't deny what I saw in Brock. Does he have the greatest arm? No. Is he the tallest guy? No. But the ability to be able to do what he did on the field as a rookie, to command the huddle, to get out of sticky situations, to read the defense, to make adjustments, not to be nervous and make mistakes. The fact that they did not call once a penalty for what is it? When the coach calls in the play and the quarterback needs to delay a game. Yeah, no delay of game. Maybe one. But when you insert a rookie, I don't care what round you get drafted, you're going to get a couple of delayed games because the rookie's still trying to figure all this crap plus relay the message. This kid did not go through that. He's special. Now, the whole Joe
Well-
Montana kneeling with Bill Walsh and him with that got to go. People are getting too crazy with that, but I like the kid. Go ahead, Ryan.
I think they practice with the headphone, the speaker in the ear.
Okay.
And that's because Kyle, if you see him on, he's always got the radio, and that's to the headset inside the quarterback's.
But remember, it cuts
head.
off before it cuts off like even before the play is called out.
I got you, but he's there. They get that training beforehand to kind of make it so they. And I'm not saying that that's everybody can do that if they're a 49ers quarterback and they get that. I'm just saying that that's probably one big thing that really helped him was getting practice at that beforehand instead of right when he goes out on the field. You know what I mean? Like it's part of his everyday. That's how they practice.
Yep, I hear you. For this Facebook user, unfortunately, it doesn't show who your name is. They've done this whole trainer injury. They fired all
They fired
their
so many
trainers
medical staffs.
and they hired new medical staff. NHL hockey, they're supposed to deal with more injury, and we're still in the same dilemma. So we have a plague above the Niners logo that just doesn't want to leave. It's like a big fat ugly bird that doesn't want to fly away, and it's the injury bug. And it's like, when is the Niners going to get their break? When can the Niners have a season without a freaking injury? Like losing not one, not two, not even three, but 4 starting quarterbacks in one season. It's unheard
Only
of.
one was a starter. Well, the fourth one was a starter, Josh Johnson.
Well, yeah, 3. But okay, 4 quarterbacks came in though and got hurt. I think Johnson got hurt because he was scared out of his ass. But still, 4 quarterbacks, and you have to go with your running back as an emergency quarterback. You don't hear that shit in any team. Why the Niners? And I know people have their speculations that it's Kyle, but quarterbacks used to get hurt a lot too with Jim Harbaugh. Any thoughts why we have that big fat ugly bird sitting in our logo and that we call the injury bug? Why is it there? Why wouldn't it leave? It's been with us for years.
If you're talking about the quarterbacks, and the right side of the pass protection on the right side offensive line has been hella weak compared to the left side. I think that's the obvious one. I mean, so that's why I was pushing to draft the right tackle.
Yeah, I hear you. All I know, instead of taking Kinlaw, we could have taken Wirth, and now we would have been set.
So, oh my gosh, please.
Right?
But imagine how McGlinchey would have felt.
Now we wouldn't have had a Uke though. We wouldn't have a Uke though. Remember that. If
we would have had what?
If we didn't get Kinlaw, we would have not had a Uke because we were able to move down. We got an extra pick that we were able to move up to get a Uke. So you got to keep that in mind.
I think Wirth was picked right before Kinlaw, if I'm not mistaken.
He got picked in our spot. We moved down. We traded with the Bucks. They took our spot, and they took Ward. That's why I know we could have taken Ward, but we wouldn't have got that extra pick that allowed us to move up to get a Uke.
Wasn't Justin Jefferson picked after Ayuk though?
No,
I
before
thought he was.
No, he was picked by Minnesota. Minnesota had 2 spots. They traded their later spot with us, and the one they had, he was taken in 20, I think.
The 2020 draft, yeah.
No, the 20 spot in the first round.
Okay.
Ayuk was taken 24, 25, I think, 25.
I have to look it up. I'm gonna pull it up right now.
Yeah, but I know Jefferson went first.
Okay, I kept thinking Jefferson went after Ayuk. I liked Ayuk a lot.
I would have lost it. I love Ayuk, but Jefferson's a freaking beast.
I definitely knew who Ayuk was because people were sending me his videos about 2 months before the draft, so I was pretty hyped up about it. I just didn't know that Jefferson was going to be like way better. But again, Jefferson's in an offense where they constantly throw the deep ball, so you see that explosive, downfield threat in Jefferson, which we don't really see with Ayuk because we don't really throw the deep ball. But now they're saying you can't cover Ayuk in a phone booth, so we'll see.
Yeah, no, he wasn't 31st. That I can guarantee without even looking it up.
I have it pulled up right now, actually. So Ayuk went at 25, and
Yeah, 25,
yeah, let me see where Jefferson went at 22. You're right. Good job.
22. Yeah. Well, I said 20, but I was off
You're
by
close.
2. But
You're close.
yeah, I know he went first though, because I follow him from LSU. I wanted him, but kid is special. Oh, you still with us, Ryan?
Ryan disappeared.
Yeah,
Okay,
Oh, there
check
he is.
the chat.
check the chat. Oh, the personal chat.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Step away, dude. If you can do what you got to do,
Oh yeah, go for it. Oh, I'm sorry, Ryan. I didn't see that.
go for the gold.
Hey, if you gotta
Don't worry. We'll pick up the slack.
if you gotta take the little mouse for a walk, go for it.
The Beto ones got this down. My bad for saying Redwood City, Beto. You caught me slipping. Was trying to
Yeah.
say Roseville.
You-
I used to work in
that's
Redwood
what I
City
thought
at
I
one
heard, but I was
I
like,
worked at Redwood City at one point in my life.
I'm
so-
awake today, bro. I've been
You are,
waking up
man.
early,
You
bro.
are.
I was
too.
talking to Ted. He's like, hey, when are you going to be on my show? I'm like, we can do 2:30. He's like, what? And then I guess he looked at the clock today. He's like, it's 11:30. What are you doing awake? I said, I've been getting up early. It's been for a week. I still can't make the show for Bryant. I want to, but 9:00 is way too early. I can't. That's early for me.
I wake up before 9:00 sometimes, but he's saying like, no offense to you, Brian. I'm just saying like when I'm up in the morning, at that time, I'm not the guy you see right now. I talk a lot slower. I'm not as animated. I'm just like sometimes I wake up with headaches, so it just depends. Every now and then I may wake up feeling good, but it's just I don't feel like wake. One time I did it where I woke up and I did a stream, and it was just like I did not feel like I was myself at all.
Yeah, that's definitely hard.
I couldn't be on the morning roast with Butcher Boy and Bonte Hill.
Yeah, that's I know with my chronic pain, for those that don't know what chronic pain is, it's I can only way I can
Why'd you
describe
take
it
me
is
off?
like having until you came back, brother.
I already blacked out my screen, bro.
No, I know, but it looks ugly black.
Oh, what are you trying to say?
Don't even go there, bro. Don't even go there. Don't even go.
Wait,
That's
how
even
many
worse
times
now.
have you tried
no,
to go
put
there
it
with
black
me?
more. Put it black again. Anyway, I lost
you
my
can't
train of
make up
thought.
for that now.
Huh?
You can't go back make up for that comment now.
No, I can't.
No, I like the black now. No, go back.
Hey, my
Terradome
ex,
says he's a
my
night
ex
owl.
was black, so I got no problem.
Oh, that doesn't mean anything.
Oh, you know what, Ryan? Hold on. Ryan had to go piss again.
That's what they do with the locker room rap. They always
Don't-
kick
don't you
their buddy
remember-
Nick off the show.
Thomas Jefferson.
Oh man, yes,
Hey,
him and
just saying.
you can't watch those type of shows anymore. What's the other one? What is it called? With the white dude. And Thomas Jefferson was on there too. What's the name of that TV show in the 80s?
Moving on up.
No,
to
that was a second. That was like a
Oh, you're
spin-off.
talking about Archie
Different
Bunker?
Jefferson.
Archie Bunker, yeah,
All in the Family?
All in the Family.
I said Thomas Jefferson.
Thomas, Sherman
He-
Helmsley, whatever his name is.
Thomas Jefferson. One of his he like essentially made one of his slaves his wife.
Sherman Helmsley played. What was the Jefferson guy's first name? Why am I forgetting that?
It was Jefferson's the last name. I can't think of the first.
Yeah,
I
George
the last
Jefferson.
name.
George Jefferson.
Yeah.
George Jefferson.
George.
You can see where I made the mistake. Stop. But I didn't know that.
Come on, this-
Sanford and Son was pretty good.
Well, with Steve Wilkes, I used to always say John Wilkes or John. I used to always say John Wilkes, or Jonathan Wilkes, or whatever. John Wilkes Booth, instead of Steve Wilkes. So I used to mess that one up.
So, as we're getting close to the end of the show, let me ask you guys, what are you guys looking forward to seeing in camp? What do you want to see in camp with these 49ers? We'll start with Ryan, then we'll move it to Bash. What do you guys see? What do you guys want? Not see, but what do you want to happen in camp that's going to get you all, for the lack of word, all wet and bothered?
I want to see Trey making all them intermediate throws. I want to see him
Okay.
his accuracy get better. I want to see his timing get better. I want to see him have command of the offense. Because if we see all that, we'll be able to see them 50, 60-yard passes down the sidelines come game day. And that's what I really want to see. But I don't care about seeing that in practice because it doesn't matter if he can do that in practice. It's all the other things.
Talking about practice.
Yeah. Yes.
Pterodome
Figure out
coming
what
in
we
with the names, the proper
Pterodome
names,
dropping the facts.
the facts. So what do you want to see, Bash?
Yep. Sally
during
Hemmings.
training, what do you want to hear
Yep.
out of from the media to get your toes to crunch and excitement?
I don't want to say the obvious one, so let me think of one that. I don't know. I'm torn. I'm really, really torn. You got me with this one. I mean, you know what? I'm gonna say it. I want Trey Lance to go out and dominate and have them say, "This is the guy they draft. They freaking flipped all
Okay.
3 first-round picks for."
That's fair, and that's how you feel, bro. Express it. Your
I was
team.
gonna say McKivitz or Drake Jackson, but
I
think
haven't
they're both
not
very, very
been.
important.
I have not been beating the drums for Trey as you guys have. I like Trey. If Trey's successful and if he is the guy, I would support him 100%. If it's Purdy, I was even Sam Donald. That's just me though. Some people say, well, you're not a real fan. I'm like, I'm not supporting the Raiders and the Niners. I'm supporting whoever's a quarterback. They're still in the same. They're still wearing the red and gold. So I think that's a little different. But for me, what I want to see the dominance of one Deebo Samuel. I want to see the 2019 Deebo. That's what I want to see. Or is it 2019 or the 2020? I don't know what. I want to see that dominance because I know Ayuk is going to handle his business. Ayuk comes in. He has a style of practice, a style how he hits the offseason. Deebo said it that he was, he didn't straight out say it, but he said he was distracted. We know what the distraction was for Deebo. It was his contract. It was
Money.
Was he going to get traded? How much money he was going to get? And that's normal. He got distracted. So he did not have a good offseason, although I still think he did well. But he said he was sluggish, and he promised never to show a tape like that again. So he is motivated. I'm fired up to see what I hear from training camp when it comes to Deebo Samuel. Now, same question, and we'll go to Bash and then we'll go to Ryan. And what is? I'll read that comment right now, Ryan. What is the rookie that you're looking forward to step up and handle their business? That's going to get you excited for this team. Pterodome says right side of offensive line gets tougher and protects. Okay, so if we can get some production out of Kovin McKivitz, so basically Kovin McKivitz, although you said the right side, I don't think we're worried about Spencer Buford, so I think it's going to lean more to McKivitz. But what rookie are you fired up? Unless you wanted to comment on this, Ryan, because I see you over there twitching.
I actually wanted to comment on Bebop Jones's comment where he says Red Fox is the GOAT. That is true. Shout out to Pterodome. He drops another one. He's looking to see Ronnie Bell.
Isn't it going to be hard for him to make the
Bell
team,
this year.
bro?
I don't know.
It's gonna be hard
To
for
me,
Ronnie
it
Bell to make the team.
It depends on what he can do on special teams.
I like Ronnie Bell. I think Ronnie Bell has demonstrated a lot of great things, but you look at all the receivers that we have, it's nothing to do with Ronnie Bell. It's just
It's a whole
it's a loaded
numbers game.
Yeah, it's a numbers game, exactly. Now, he may play himself out of wherever. I mean, you know how they cut you and then they bring you back into the, what is it called?
Releasing
the
somebody,
practice
go on
squad?
waivers, and then go to the practice squad.
Yeah, I don't think he'll make the practice squad. So
Would you rather let Ray McDonald or Ray McLeod
Ray McDonald.
Would you rather let Ray McLeod go and then keep Ronnie Bell?
If he
'Cause I have the
impresses me in training camp, yes. If he
I
doesn't,
have a feeling we won't be able to sneak him onto the squad. I think other teams will be like, no, let's see this guy. Because, also think about this. You got McDaniel down there in Miami. You know what I mean? Who is just outside of, Kyle Shanahan's thing. He knows that's a Kyle Shanahan player.
Yep.
Why wouldn't you go, hey, we could always use another wide receiver? You're obviously Kyle's type, which Max is great in my system because I've got a Kyle Shanahan system. So there's other teams that obviously run the same system, and a guy like Ronnie Bell could do certain things. And if there's teams out there that don't, have what would you call it? When somebody's stuck in a position, not stuck, but when there's so many people that already kind of have their position set, you know what I mean? Like they've already got their spot solidified.
Solidify.
You know what I mean? And he could go to a team that doesn't real easy.
Yeah.
It's a gamble, and with big upside.
Yeah. Terradome says we carry 6 receivers. We do every year, but look at all the so let's name the receivers. If we do, I think we did 5 last year, but if I'm not mistaken. But we have Debo, we have Ayuk, we have Juwan Jennings, Ray McLeod. Who's number 5? Who am I missing? Oh, Danny Gray.
It's Danny Gray.
Number
That's
5. And then number 6 could be Ronnie Bell, I guess, if they go with 6.
I think they keep him on the practice squad, or if everybody's healthy. That's why I look at it, because Gray. I heard a lot of good things about Danny Gray. I do like Ronnie Bell's hands from what I've been hearing early on. But to touch on the rookies in general, and really quick, going back to Debo. Now, if Debo said that he thought he was terrible and there's things that he needs to work on to get better, I hope that really, really means that he has major concentration in terms of being a complete wide receiver, a la similar to what Ayuk is, and not so much focusing on being this wide back and being just a gimmicky wide receiver. Be like a true pure wide receiver, or work on being a true pure wide receiver, because he'll just be that much more dangerous. As far as rookies, I mean, I was most excited about the D Winters pick, but and it sounds like Jair Brown's probably going to come in his own, but I'm going to throw a little sleeper out there. The guy who I really, really want to step was Cameron Latou, the tight end that we drafted. I heard he did some good things in OTAs and minicamps. So I heard he caught a big pass downfield, and he looks a bit faster than his 40 time dictates. So I want him to pan out, because I'd love to have a deadly dual tight end set. We're missing that, and I think Braden Willis will come along as well as a tight end, but it'll be nice to see him come along.
I'm going to say Braden Willis for my guy, because I didn't really say Ronnie Bell, but I thought that was a really
the tight end from Oklahoma.
Yep, Braden Willis. I feel he's going to be one of them guys everybody like writes off until he just like appears out of nowhere. You know what I mean? In one of them plays that Kyle schemes up, he's going to appear out of nowhere. He's going to get the ball, and then he's going to make somebody pay. And I bet you about halfway through the season, you start seeing plays like this from him. And I bet you going into the end of the season, teams will be starting to alert when he comes into the huddle. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Braden Willis is in the play because they're expecting some crazy play to come up. You know what I mean? Because he's a guy, I can see him going from the line to the backfield, and can move around a lot, like a hybrid.
He's a playmaker.
He's like a hybrid between a fullback and a tight end.
I like. I mean?
So
Willis.
Like, you come out with 3 tight ends and have him be your 3rd tight end, and you got a juice in the backfield. You can send Braden Willis in motion. You know what I mean? He's smaller, so he can be quicker, and that means he can bring more. He could bring more momentum to the. It's more speed to the point of attack on the run play. You know what I mean? And then you've got Juice, who already knows what he's supposed to do, and he could pick up the next block, whoever it is. And I think it's going to be nasty. 3 tight ends out there this year.
You know what? They used to use when Juice was out. Remember, they used, I forgot what tight end they used for to take Juice spot. I think they'll do that a lot with the Willis.
They did Dwelly.
They had Dwelly at fullback for a minute. He sucked at it.
And I think Willis can do that. And that I think they should keep if Latou's doing as good as we've been hearing, and Willis does his thing. I think keeping them 2 plus Kittle would be great. 3 tight end sets. I don't think we need to keep Dwelly.
Think of this
or
too.
Croft.
You leave Juice Check on the sideline. You got Braden Willis, Latu, and Kittle out there. So you got a 3 receiver, 1 running back, and then you've got your choice of wide receiver out there. And you can go to a 4 wide. You can go to a 4 wide formation, even though there's 3 tight ends out there and a wide receiver. You know what I mean? You go 5 wide if you want at that point. You can do so much intermix, but the defense is going to be thinking you're doing 3 tight ends on the line.
Yep. And then you still have McCaffrey that if everything doesn't work out, you have McCaffrey down the middle that
That's
can
what
run
I'm
it.
That's what I'm well, or go out as a wide
Or
receiver.
don't, yeah.
You can
Get
empty
behind
out
the
the
linebacker.
backfield, get in shotgun, you know what I mean, and piece them up. So it could be nasty, bro. It could be really nasty.
I'm telling you, this offense under Kyle can be great with these players. Now, if Latu plans out and Willis plan out, I like Willis. I like Latu too, but I like Willis. I think this guy has a dog in him. I love what he did when he got drafted. He says he's going to make all 32 or 31 teams pay for passing him up. I love that
Yeah.
attitude. Some people might say he's cocky. I like it. I like that attitude. He feels he was worth much higher than what he got picked, and he's going to make sure he does what he can do to show the other teams that they made a mistake. So I like that attitude from Willis. Now the linebackers that Bash mentioned, the kid they got from Purdue in the 7th round,
Jalen Graham is
Jalen Graham. This kid has been
winners.
really, really good. And he reminds me, he has the same body type as Fred Warner when Fred Warner first came out. And I would love, and he's been really good. And winners too. I mean, I like this. Could this be arguably, besides Bosa, one of the, well, you know, we're not going to know until 3 years from now, but could this be one of the best years of drafting for Kyle and John?
Too early for me to say. It's
Too
way
early,
too early.
yeah.
Yeah, it's too early, but it definitely could be. Imagine Jake Moody, you know what I mean, for 10 years and being able to kick 50, 60 yarders, you know, accurately, dependably. And then you, I don't know, maybe find a replacement down the road for George Kittle and Latu. And then maybe a replacement for Juice down the road in Willis, or just have a second tight end. You know what I mean? And then there's other players like Bell, and then you got Beal. You know what I mean? So this could be a crazy draft in a couple of years.
Yep.
I think Beal's going to be like a project type of guy, and a few other guys too. So it's a lot
Most
of it's wait and see.
I think Beal could be. Wow, this is the sad thing. He's so quick, and that's his big upside. Is so he's so quick, but he might need 2 to 3 years to get into his final form, and by that time, will he still have that same speed? You know what I mean?
He's a bit lightweight compared to the other guys at his position in camp. That's one thing they noticed right away.
If you don't get touched, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Well, in this pass rush with Bosa,
It
Hargrave,
doesn't
and
matter.
it
Well,
may not
talking
matter
about-
with all those guys. And now
He's-
that we're even going to be blitzing more too. So
His upside is the speed, right? So
the
if he
speed and the
can-
get off. Yep.
Yeah, if he can get around the corner before someone can touch him, you know what I mean? I'm not saying he's got that, but I'm saying, look, if he can get around the corner, I don't care what his weight is. He can't get touched. Doesn't matter. I don't like having, you know, like weight requirements or height requirements or, you know, like length of arm requirements. I think that's stupid, and it stops you from giving people a chance who might even be better than what you decide is the best.
You must be
You know what I
this
mean?
tall to ride this ride.
Right. Like we've talked, like I've had arguments about the length of arms. You know what I'm saying? And it's, look, if I got short arms and you got long arms, right? If you go to put your hand on me and I swat it away, who cares how long your stinking arm is? I can swat it away before you can touch me. And if I step up into you at that point, then I can, as an offensive lineman, let's say, I can get into your pads. And you have to take your arm that got swiped away and got to bring it all the way back in and back to me again while I'm already there. My hand swiped your hand away, back in position. You know what I mean? To me,
If my pee-pee is bigger than yours, oh shit.
It doesn't make sense
It
unless
doesn't matter.
it shows that it's a weakness. Until it shows it's a weakness, then don't worry about it. Just let, like, Randall, was it Randall McDaniel? You remember that defensive end from the Vikings?
Defensive end Hunter?
No, defensive end for the Vikings.
Randall
back in the
McDaniel was
day.
a D tackle. He was a D tackle. He was like Stubblefield and Brain.
D
yeah.
tackle.
Yeah, he was.
Randall
Yeah, he was
McDaniel.
inside.
Yeah, so he almost didn't make the team. Well, he didn't make the team many a times, but at the end, he almost didn't make the team, and he just put a piece of chain link, chain underneath his workout gear with a padlock to get him up over their weight requirement. And look at the career that guy had. They almost, just because of like 6 pounds, decided, no, let's not give this guy a chance. And he was a wrecker, not only physically,
He
but
was just a
mentally. He got
monster.
into people's heads. Like,
He was
to
ruthless.
me, it's just stupid. You're passing up good talent because of stupid statistics, or like key points, or like data entry points that don't mean anything when you get on the field.
Well, that's
like
what they
40
did with Brock
times.
Purdy.
Yeah. Nobody everybody looked him over. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not saying he's going to be a
Look at
top 5
Stenson.
quarterback, but he definitely wasn't worth going in the 7th round.
No. Look at Stenson Bennett. Supposedly Stenson Bennett is looking good in Rams mini camp. That's another guy I thought was just like a Brock Purdy. People were like, oh, he's not going to go far. He's not, because he was kind of smaller. He's not your average build of the quarterback. Plus he had some off-field issues. I'm like, I don't think he had a DUI. Okay. People make mistakes. I'm not getting mad at anybody for a DUI unless you have multiple DUIs. Like,
Yes.
you're not figuring that
One
out.
is a mistake. 2 or it's a
Yeah.
pattern.
If you're being a prick and doing all this stuff, then that's another thing for cause. But I understand somebody drinking too much and driving home and getting popped on the way because they thought they were good enough. There was one time I was I was drinking with some buddies, right? And I knew I was gonna just crash in the back of my truck at the end of the night, right? So I drank a lot, and all of a sudden, in the middle of the night, I woke up and I had to toss my cookies. So I tossed my cookies, and I'm sitting there going like, man, I'm sober. I just want to go home. So I start going home. Well, about halfway home, I start getting drunk again. You know what I'm saying? Because I tossed up most of the liquor, but I kind of sobered up for that. But then, yeah. And so I was like, whoa, I should have stayed. So it's like, you got to be smart.
You have to make the right decisions. Yeah. People, unfortunately, look at Henry Ruggs. Comes out, great at Alabama, great prospect, gets drafted high to the Raiders, and one mistake, a costly one, and I don't say it lightly because a life was, I know an animal was lost too, but a life was lost in that incident, and it's sad. 2 lives were lost that day from a bad decision. Not the decision to drink wasn't wrong. The decision to get into a car, particularly the one he has, was definitely wrong with that blood alcohol. But for those that drink, I don't know about you guys. I haven't drank in a long time, but I always felt invincible when I was drunk. Oh, I can do it. And it depends on the individual. Some people are very, very smart drinkers. They know their limit. They know what they know where not to cross the line. But I was an idiot. I'll be the idiot driving the car, But one bad decision ruined his life. And now he's awaiting to be prosecuted on August 9th of this year. He awaits his fate. So it sucks, man, but a life was lost. I wish that no life was lost so that he could have learned a lesson and moved on. But that young girl is never going to come back to her family. So as bad as I feel about Henry Ruggs, you make your bed, you got to lie in it, unfortunately. So with that, let's wrap it up. Anything going on your channel, Ryan, the rest of this week before we wrap it up?
Yeah. I got my Friday night show. You can check me out on my channel on Friday night. We start at 6, go till about 11. We got a panel of anywhere between 3 to 10 people. We ask them multiple questions about the league, the NFL, not just the 49ers. And yeah, I'm trying to have a little more variety, like mixed in some humor with some things. So please stop on by and please give us any creative criticism, because we would love to hear. Yeah, I don't have the rivalry on my channel anymore. You can catch me out on Thursdays on Joe Stevens' channel, The Rivalry, the show's called.
What do you got going on your channel, Bash? And welcome.
Gonna have some. What's up?
Let's welcome Mr.
Kilts Chronicles.
Chronicles. Kilts Chronicles is in the house. What's up, brother? Welcome.
What up, Rich?
Richie Rich is in the house. So what do you have going on, Bash, for this week on your channel?
There were a few people that were supposed to be on my channel last week, so I'm not gonna drop any names, and things did not go as planned. So
Okay.
hopefully, at least one or
If
two
you
of them
book
jumps
it, they will come.
Yeah.
No,
So
a lot of
if
people
they
have been
build it,
canceling, and a
that's a
lot
good
of people
movie.
have been busy. And
I was
have
talking
the worst,
about
I have
Wayne's
the
World
worst
2.
luck with booking people
Oh.
for some weird reason. But whatever. So some people will come on my channel eventually, and every Friday 3:00 I have the show with Ted, balling with Bash and Ted.
There you go. And then for me, tomorrow, myself, Ryan, and Mariah, we're doing our Niners and Friends show on Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I believe it's on Mariah's channel.
Yes,
Or-
it is on Mariah's channel tomorrow.
Mariah, so
Make
make sure
sure
you
to go
follow
to-
her.
Me and Mariah.
49er Faithfully podcast.
Yes, and then at 2:30 p.m., if you want to hang out with me, I'm going to be a guest on Ted Talks Ball channel at 2:30. So come and check us out there. And on Friday, not this Friday, because my co-host is in Florida enjoying herself, vacation time, but we will be resuming the Friday after, and we do the Niners Now podcast every Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Other than this Friday, we'll resume next week. Back to our channel. And for everybody, I just want to just give a hand applause to everybody in the chat. You guys have been amazing. You guys have been keeping the chat on fire. Appreciate each and every one of you for all your comments to us
Fuego.
and to one another. You guys are awesome. Ryan, it's always a pleasure having you, brother. Much love and respect for you. No Butter Sports and my boy Bash from 49er Minded. I've known this guy for years now. Never met him in person, but I feel like I already know him in person since
Well, if
we've
you would
known
have
each
showed up
other.
at the picnic. But
Yeah, if I would have got invited in time.
you did. I gave you a day.
You give me half a day.
I wasn't sure I was going to be there. That's why.
I still would have went if you would have told me about it. But anyway, neither there or here. We'll have an opportunity. Hey, I'm going to go to your house and have pizza anyway. So
All right. Well, I'll do a
stuff,
Niner
stuff like
to
that.
get together.
They're talking about my co-host who's in Florida, relaxing, having a great time.
What up, Jess?
What's up, Jess? So,
What up,
guys,
Jess?
thank you for joining the Niners Sickness podcast as we had our Niners World Order Monday Night Raw style with my boy Bash, Ryan, and in spirit, we had Mr. Aaron, who is sleeping right now. Keep him in your prayers. Hopefully, he'll be healthy by Wednesday. But support him, support his channel. Love you guys. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Whose channel is it on next week, guys? Oh, Bash channel. So
It'll be on my
49er
channel,
Minded.
49er Minded.
Look for us at 6 p.m. 6:15. That's when I started. But yours is going to be 6 or 6:15. Senor Bash.
6. We'll do it at 6.
All right, 6 o'clock on his channel. Until then, have a wonderful night. Peace out, everyone.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,